Every screen in your life is designed to pull you in. They buzz, they ping, they glow, and they're all competing for the same thing, your attention. And you know what? They're really, really good at winning. So I want to tell you about TRMNL, an e-ink display that just sits there quietly showing you information without demanding anything in return. You may be skeptical. Another gadget, another screen, surely that's the complete opposite of what you need. But what if this screen didn't fight for your attention? What if it just existed in the background, available when you needed it, never vibrating, never making a sound, and never ever asking for a monthly subscription?
This video is sponsored by the like button. Click it below to find out more.
This is TRMNL, an e-ink display that acts as a dashboard for, well, whatever you want. Family calendars, weather, analytics, goals and progress, Notion viewers, stock trackers. The world is your oyster. But it's more than just a screen, because TRMNL is an open source firmware that refreshes this display with an image, one full of the information you want to see, in any layout that you choose. And these images are rendered and provided to the device by a web server, one hosted by TRMNL themselves, subscription free, or optionally, one run by you. Now, TRMNL have not sponsored this video, but I should tell you that they did send me this product for free, but all opinions expressed throughout are my own. Let's start with the box. What I have here is an OG display with the optional Clarity Kit, which includes a battery upgrade, the Developer Edition, which is access to the APIs, more on that later, a charging cable, a microfiber cleaning cloth, and a matte screen protector. And TRMNL is available in white, black, grey, and even clear for £125. And there's also a fake wood design and a sage colour, but they appear unavailable right now. And that's likely as TRMNL is releasing their newer X display. So get subscribed if you want to see a video on that newer, bigger version. So straight away, this is our USB-C charging cable. Braid as well by the look of it. Basic microfiber cloth. Sort of screen anti-glare to go on the screen. And this is our e-ink display. Let's get into how this actually works. At whatever interval you specify, typically every few minutes, the device wakes up from sleep and pings the TRMNL server requesting an image. The server is then going to respond with that image and some instructions on when to check back in. The device is then going to render that image and then power down until the next scheduled wake up. And the centerpiece of this whole operation is the 7.5-inch e-paper display. Now, it has a resolution of 800 by 480 pixels, which doesn't sound like a lot, but e-ink technology consistently looks sharper than those specifications suggest, and you get all the classic e-ink advantages as well. Viewing angles are excellent for practically any direction. Harsh sunlight or dimly lit rooms make no difference thanks to its passive reflectivity, and power consumption only occurs when the screen refreshes, meaning that battery life benefits enormously from its efficiency. The standard 6.6 watt-hour battery delivers roughly 3 months between charges, and internally there's nothing exotic going on. You've got USB-C for charging, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for connectivity, and the display controller. That's it. Everything sits in a solid injection molded ABS plastic enclosure that ships with a wall mounting hook and a tabletop kickstand. And beyond the hardware, everything else lives in the online dashboard. The playlist section forms your control center, and this is where you stage what content appears and when. A straightforward setup might alternate between Google Calendar and YouTube Analytics every 30 minutes, for example. And the physical button on the back allows you to trigger an instant refresh whenever you want one. But the scheduling system offers far greater flexibility. You can define specific time blocks for different content groupings. In your mornings, you might have it rotate between the weather forecast and the calendar events. In the afternoon, you might serve motivational passages from Atomic Habits. And in the evening, you might bring back your calendar alongside some random Wikipedia article for casual nighttime reading. But what actually populates these dashboards is where plugins come in. The TRMNL ecosystem divides these plugins into distinct categories. Native plugins come directly from the TRMNL development team, fully supported and maintained. Private plugins allow you to make personal creations for your individual needs, and community contributions come from the broader user base available for anyone to install. And then there's what they call recipes. Essentially, they're personal plugins that creators have chosen to share publicly. And they do come with a fair warning because the setup might demand some technical knowledge. And while every submission receives manual approval from the terminal team, bugs can slip through and some root data through third-party servers belonging to whoever built them. Installation complexity varies on the plugin type. The Office Quotes plugin, for example, simple click, done. While Google Calendar requires you to authenticate with OAuth to your Google account, and then once connected, you have to then configure which type of calendars appear. So you might flick between daily, weekly, or monthly layouts. But luckily, all of the official plugins have excellent, easy to follow documentation to help with setup. And once a plugin is configured, it's done, ready to be added to the dashboard at any time, forever. Now, if you're just an average person who has no interest in the semantics of open source software nor creating your own plugins via the terminal APIs, then you're done. Now, remember how earlier I said you could build your own terminal? Well, you can, because the firmware has been released under the GPL3 license, and none of the components used in the device itself are proprietary or novel. Now, I could dive into the nerdy side of plugin creation, APIs, and all the technical stuff, but Quinn Nelson at Snazzy Labs has quite frankly done a brilliant job in his terminal video. So I encourage you to check that out if custom plugin creation is what your heart desires. Now, here's the thing that surprised me most about this device. It's not about what it does, it's about what it doesn't do. It doesn't vibrate, it doesn't light up, it doesn't try and hijack my attention every time I walk near it. And I've been thinking a lot lately about what I actually want from my technology. And I think, for the first time in a long time, I'm starting to figure that out. I don't want technology that demands my attention. I want technology that respects it and doesn't want my money every month as a subscription. And I'm really liking this trend of more ambient tech. It's there, but it allows you to stay present with what you're focused on and doesn't pull you away constantly. Is the terminal display going to change your life? Probably not. It's a dashboard on an e-ink display, let's not get carried away. But if you're someone who's trying to be more intentional in the technology in their life, if you're tired of every device competing for your eyeballs, this may be worth a look. Sometimes the best technology is the kind that you barely notice. Thank you to Terminal for sending this product, and thank you all for watching. If you're considering picking up one of these displays, then I have an exclusive discount for you in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.